Hello everybody and welcome back to basically the next chapter in our Rocket League story. As I explained yesterday, we are leading up to Rocket Pass Season 1. Yesterday there was 6 days to go, now there's only 5. So that means we move on to the second Rocket Pass. Yesterday we did Rocket Pass 1, today we do Rocket Pass 2. So without further ado, let's do this. Now, one of the cool things about the Rocket Pass 2 was, well, not cool things, but different things, was it was changed. It wasn't the same as Rocket Pass 1. It was different. And I will go into how that happens in just a little bit. But first, time to show off the car that was given away in this Rocket Pass, the Optimus. Now, I only have the GXT as I also did not get the chance to get the Rocket Pass 2. Now, the reason I have all the Mavericks and not the Optimus is because of that change that I mentioned literally a couple of seconds ago. Unlike with Rocket Pass 1, once you hit tier 70, you would get painted items or not painted items that could be traded or special edition. Or you could also get non-painted items of the same items. Yeah. So you could get all 3 Mavericks, you could get all 3 wheels. You could get everything all over again, painted or non-painted, after tier 70, and it could all be traded. Now, I believe the reason they changed that is it just lost, they lost the money. Like, literally, one friend could trade the entire Rocket Pass to somebody else if they had the rights, if they had everything. So I think that's the reason behind why they changed it. So that's why I only have one Optimus and it's painted. But anyway, this is the Optimus GXT. It's the final version of the car that was in Rocket Pass 2. So obviously it's the one we're gonna go with. Now with Rocket Pass 2, there were a lot of iconic decals. Some cool ones, like the Future Shock, as I have here, and these ones down here, Street Wave. Now, the decal we are going to be using today is we are going to be using the Laser Waves. And just because the car is pink and we want to keep it a nice theme, we're going to go with Future Shock. Pink. Like last time, we're going to leave the paints to the end, but one of the iconic things with the Optimus GXT that the Maverick GXT didn't have is these white lines. Now, you might be saying, wait, the Maverick did have lights and stuff on the side of it. Yes, but they weren't timed with the accent. Now you see, the decal there is white. If I change the color of the accent, the color of the lights on the side of the car also change, depending on my accent color. So that was a nice feature that was added and actually really cool. Now wheel-wise, we're gonna go with one of the interesting wheels of Rocket Pass 2. We're gonna go with the Madness 2. Now, the Madness 2, I have 4 colors of, and we're gonna go with the titanium white. The reason I choose the Madness is it was a very interesting wheel. I liked it personally, and I think its design is kind of cool. And also, it's titanium white, and I have a pretty cool design in mind for this. Boost. Now, this has surprised me. One of this boost here, the Super Magnabolt 3, is considered one of the most expensive Rocket Pass items ever released. Super Magnabolt is hard to get your hands on. You will be looking at paying credits or even black markets to try and get one of these. So I was lucky to manage to find both the gray and titanium white one for a pretty low price. And we're gonna go with the Titanium White one. Toppers, well, there were these pretty interesting ones released back in Rocket Pass 2 called drones. And again, coincidentally, I managed to get myself a pink one way back when, so that's the drone we're gonna go with. For antennas, there were no painted. Oh no, there were. No, there wasn't. No, painted antennas were done. As I said, the antennas that I have for Rocket Pass 1, you could get painted versions, but I have a non-painted version of them. But they did stop the painted antennas in Rocket Pass 2, so unfortunately I don't have any antennas for that one. I did manage to get a boost, Gold Swing, but just like the boost, the Super Magnavolt, these two are very high priced. As for the trail, we are going to go with the Tryon. And Geronimo, we'll just go with the default. So far, the car looks pretty good. Now, color-wise, I think we're going to darken it down. I'm going to keep... the decal didn't carry over. Of course it didn't. Must have hit the button. Yeah. We're going to keep it white, just to fit with the overall titanium white and pink feel. The white and pink feel and theme we're going with here. So we'll leave it at that. Now, personally, the Artemis, its first two versions I didn't like. I didn't really wasn't too hype about the first two Artemises, but the final version I was, so that's why I tried so hard to get one. Now, you might be wondering, well hang on, you had Rocket League, because as I'm telling my story of Rocket League, how I came to know Rocket League, how Rocket League came to be a thing for me. You might be wondering, well how, if you already had Rocket League now based on the story that I told yesterday, why didn't you get Rocket Pass 2? Now, if you remember, I said the thing that made me find Rocket League was the Frosty Fest event in December 2019, or 2019. The Frosty Fest event. Now, I joined Rocket League when that event only had about a week left. I managed to get myself a Snowflake animated decal and an ice trail. Don't remember their names exactly, but I did manage to get those items. Now, Rocket Pass 2 was almost over, as it ended in February, so it didn't have very long left, and I didn't have enough keys to buy it, so I didn't get it. I just left it, and we'll moved on. I did manage to get some of the free items, but I never actually managed to get myself Rocket Pass, which was a bit of a shame, because it did look like a cool and fun Rocket Pass, but I didn't want to go ahead and waste the money on the key, and I wasn't on the keys, knowing that I wouldn't have long to level up, and I was only new to the game, so I didn't have enough time or enough skill to be able to grind my way to level 70. So I just left it. So Feb comes to the final day of Rocket Pass, and I'm like, okay, here we go, Rocket Pass 3. There's still no trailer. At this time I didn't know there were trailers. And Rocket Pass 2 ends, and there's no sign of Rocket Pass 3. Now, I looked this up, and it turns out that Rocket Pass 1 and 2 had a month's gap between them. Now, this was very interesting for me, because it's the first time an in-game pass like this was a month apart between each other. So I wasn't really used to this. So we start having a look at the game, start examining. I learn, I do a lot of trading during this time. I get myself a couple of items, and over time we just enjoyed the game for what it was. And saw that as, well, okay, this Rocket Pass event is, why are we taking so long? So during this time, I managed to teach myself a lot about Rocket League. I managed to learn a lot. I did a lot of trading. A lot of trading. And I kid you not, I mean a lot of trading. I managed to get myself a couple of items. I got myself some DLCs. Keys, I opened some crates. And one of the interesting things from Rocket Pass 2, I don't know, just for the OG players, the original Rocket League players, the people who have played Rocket Pass 1, 2, and 3, I believe. Maybe even 4, would know about the items called decryptors. If you do, sweet. Now, a decryptor was basically your free key. In the premium version of Rocket Pass, every 10 levels, I think it was, you'd get a key. That was the premium. Free. In the free version of Rocket Pass, you'd get decryptors. Now, what a decryptor was, is it was basically a key. That you could open crates with it. It was basically a key. But, whatever item you got out of that crate, you could not trade. Now, some believed that the decryptors were rigged to make item rarities higher. I, for a while, and maybe still am, one of those people who did believe that. It was my first decryptor. I got my very first decryptor from Rocket Pass 2. I went ahead to open it, and I got a Player's Choice crate. And what I managed to get was Black Zombas. And I kid you not, that long month that I spent trading, dear God, the amount of people who would be asking me for my Black Zombas, I'd have to explain to them that I opened it with a decryptor, and that I would lose a lot of trades. People offered black markets, people offered keys, all the stuff that I wanted, but I couldn't trade these wheels. I got one of the coolest wheels in the game, but couldn't trade it. So, I don't know whether to consider myself lucky or unlucky. Maybe a bit of both. But that was one of the bonuses with the free thing. So I did get to experience that. I did get some help from a couple of players. I had nothing. I literally had, only thing that I had were the free items that you get with the Rocket Pass that nobody wanted. Nobody wanted them. And this one guy came along and I explained to him, I don't have much. So he goes, well, here. He had stacks upon stacks of Rocket Pass 1 items and gave them all to me. He gave me a bunch. That's why I have so many. I've got special editions. I have the little lightning zap wheels, whatever they're called. That's how I got the Mavericks. This guy gave me the 3 Mavericks for nothing. He gave them to me for free. And ever since then, I've always respected this guy. He's given me so much. He helped me in the trading world. He helped me understand pricing. And I'm very thankful for him. And if I did remember his name, and I'm sure one day I will shout you out. You are the reason that I have the items I have now. And I think that's really cool, and that I'm really thankful for that. He helped me to get up, to at least get an edge, to at least be a player that had something. He just helped me out. I was a complete random stranger who told him I had nothing, and he just offloads inventory to me. And yeah, now, I'd be sitting there going, well, limiteds aren't compared in trades, limiteds aren't the best. But when they're compared to a new player, someone like me who literally just started the game no more than like 2 weeks ago, these items were considered the best. Like, this guy had just given me these things and I was like, dude, you're amazing. You are like a god. Thank you. And I respect it. Ever since then, I've respected traders, and I've entered the trading community. That's where I came in. That's how I entered. That was my experience, my first introduction to the Rocket League. And I mean, personally, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that there was someone out there who was kind enough to want to share his items with someone he barely knew, someone who he would happily just go, sure, enjoy, kid. And I mean, he never had to do that. He just did it out of the kindness of his heart, because he could. And that, I think, shows that the Rocket League community still deserves, is still something that will still live on for a while, because it has multiple different things. And this car here, the Optimus GXT, I think it is a very nice car. It's a very clean car. The laser wave decal looks very nice on it. If we go back a bit, we can check out. And I mean, that was my Rocket League experience. And over that month, I learned how to play Rocket League. I learned how to trade. I learned all the terms. I even managed to get myself a black market. I got hexed. One of the low-priced black markets, I managed to get one. Now, my goal for a long time was to get Fire God. Now, I know to some of you, Fire God is not anything special. It's just a cheesy black market. It's not that good. But to me, I loved Fire God. I always have. And I will never trade it. I will never trade my Fire God. As I love it. And I managed to get my Fire God eventually. But the weeks go on, and it's been 3 weeks since Rocket Pass 2 ended. It's been a month. I mean, game-wise, many people had forgotten about the Rocket Pass. Many people assumed that it was done, that it wasn't going to happen. And then, and then Rocket League makes an announcement. Everyone's like, oh my god, what's this? The RLCS was about to pick back up. And along with this announcement came the esports shop, which can be located in the menu. It's still there, and no word on Rocket League. But in this announcement, we had word that this Rocket Pass, this rumored Rocket Pass that was supposed to be happening, they did say with this announcement that Rocket Pass was going to hit August 27th. So all the way through February, no Rocket Pass. No, sorry, Rocket Pass 2 ended in April. Yeah, that makes sense. Rocket Pass all the way through March, no Rocket Pass. April comes. And it was interesting because no word on a Rocket Pass, no. Nothing, no fancy thing, they just announced it. So it'd been a month and we're like, okay, where's this supposed Rocket Pass? Where's this great Rocket Pass that we've all been promised? So the esports shop is announced. A week later comes the release day. And just before I go to turn on my Switch, there's a trailer been posted by Rocket League, and it was the Rocket Pass 3 trailer was announced. It was dropped, and immediately I watched it, and I was blown away. I was excited because the next day it was gonna come out, and I was like, finally, I can look forward to something that I can participate in. And I went to sleep that night, excited to play the next day. That's my story of Rocket Pass 2. And I will continue the story with Rocket Pass 3 tomorrow. So, until then, everyone, thanks for watching. Peace.